Hi, this is Gary Shea of Alcatrazz, and you're listening to Rockum Radio. Play it loud.
On a short trip we made a landing and we were strangers in town. How they stared as we made our exit. We'll wind around.
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Gary. My name is Gino.
Great.
Welcome to Rockum.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, how are you today?
Well, very good, thank you. I'm in Detroit, Michigan today,
In Detroit.
visiting family.
Okay, you're close here. Yeah, I'm in Kingston, in Ontario.
Yeah.
You're close.
Yeah, not too far from Kingston, right. Near Windsor, just across the bridge from Windsor.
Got it.
Close. All my Canadian friends.
Yes. How many times you play here? Oh,
Oh, a few dozen.
few.
We've played, in the old days, we used to play around Montreal and Magog, Stansted, all the prep schools and colleges and things like that. And then we played in Montreal we played Maple Leaf Gardens, those kind of places.
Wow.
We played Calgary, Edmonton, Saskatchewan, a few others.
All the provinces, I think.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You just signed with BraveWords Records, a Canadian record label,
Yes.
for a new studio album in 2026.
Yeah. One more time.
One more time. How did that feel at this stage of your career?
It's great. It's great to be able to have the opportunity to keep going. You know, we're very fortunate. Some people don't have that opportunity. Things happen in your life, you have to stop. We've been able to continue with our love for music as we continue on here. So very lucky with that.
Yes. What can you tell me about this new album?
Well, the new album, we're in the process right now of writing it, so there's nothing really to say other than it will be coming out in 2026, the beginning of the year. Whether that's January or February or March, I'm not quite sure either. Things can change. But in the meantime, we're writing new music right now and gearing up for that. Then there's some tour dates in Sweden and Denmark and Belgium and all that in the end of November and through December.
Yes.
So a break for Christmas, then working on the album.
Yes. You also mentioned a top secret project. Is there anything you can tease?
Oh, the top secret project? Well, that was probably our Prior Convictions record where we took some old songs and put new guys on them.
Okay.
We included those songs. We've just released Hiroshima Mon Amour as our second single. We released Island of the Sun a few weeks ago. So it's got Joe Stump playing guitar on it. Mark Benquechea is playing drums, and Giles is singing.
Okay. Giles. Yes. You also put out a new version of one of my favorites, of the two favorite songs, Island in the Sun and
Right.
Jet to Jet.
Yeah, that's from the Prior Convictions record
Yes, yes.
we just put out. That's kind of fun. That song goes way, way back to our group New England that Jimmy and I had before Alcatrazz. That one. Yeah, that's the band. And Isle in the Sun would have been on the fourth New England album had that band not broken up. And when we got together with Graham Bonnet, we played the song and he liked it. We changed the words.
Okay.
The music sort of stayed the same. And Graham rewrote lyrics to it about being an Alcatrazz. And that became Isle in the Sun. It used to be called Take Another Ride.
Okay.
There's a 5 CD box set of New England on trademark Records that has the original version on there, the original demos.
Wow.
Interesting to hear the two combined,
Oh, it's great to see you, and you have all the energy. And honestly,
Yeah, I'm lucky. Again, lucky. Very thankful. we are still going. You know, there's a few gaps here and there. You know,
Okay.
health-wise and all that stuff. No one's getting any younger. But again, you know, we're still going strong. We still think like we did when we were, you know, younger. You know, still crazy. Still love music.
Wow. What guide the production approach for the new recordings on Prior Convictions?
Just the usual. Nothing different. We're not really changing anything that we haven't done before. We've pretty much been producing ourselves anyway. Jimmy and Giles have been producing them the last few records, and we're very happy with that. So there's really nothing going to be changed as far as production. We do a lot of sharing of files because all live in different places in some different countries. So there's that. We're not really in the same room sometimes doing all this. So it makes it a little more difficult. But production-wise, it's the same thing. You know, bass, guitar, drums, keyboards, start singing.
I remember Island in the Sun was famously filming Alcatrazz Island. Yeah. Back in the day. What does the song mean to you now?
It just brings back the memories of living in 1984 in Los Angeles and what that was like in those times. When I hear the song, it reminds me of us putting the band together and living in Los Angeles, the palm trees and warm weather, and life was good. We had a good time. And we played and went out and started touring. And the record, we were very excited about that record. We were very proud of that record. We did the whole record probably about a month. We'd only been together for about 4 months, all of us. We're all new to each other, except Jim and I had been together before. And we started the band with Graham and hired Yngwie and Jane Devine to play drums. And we worked really hard every day, 5, 6, 8 hours a day.
Wow.
For about 4 or 5 months down near Disneyland, Orange County, California.
Oh, yeah. Orange County, yeah. This is the county of Disneyland.
Yeah, Orange County.
Yes. You can see the castle from the houses.
Yeah. So we used to go every day from Los Angeles to there. And that was with traffic, about an hour drive every day, back and forth.
Wow.
Back just to rehearse and record. And
what we did,
Island of Sun, I think of all that, just a big triumphant intro.
yes, that was produced with Giles and Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
And mixed and mastered by Andy Holler, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What did each bring to the table?
All of your influences, everyone's got a certain sound, and especially when you're mixing, there's certain things you can do that people who don't know recording studios maybe wonder about why bands sound different sometimes, whether it's some parts are louder or less louder, or sometimes the music sounds louder than the singing, or sometimes the singing's far louder than the orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
It's all down to personal taste and the people who are controlling it, what they hear in their ears.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, what the machines can do and can't do. They can make some things good, but not everything good. You can't fix mistakes. You have to deal with a lot of things like that. So it's a combination of that personal taste, and that's why there's different producers have different ideas and different sounds. Whether it's Todd Rundgren or George Martin, they hear things differently. Like our third album with New England, we did with Todd Rundgren. Mm-hmm. It was different than our first album that we did with Mike Stone and Paul Stanley, which had a bigger sound, and we kind of thinned it out in the third album. But going into this new album, it'll be the same production team, so there'll be a continuity of what sounds like Alcatrazz. It won't sound like some other band, it's not going to sound like the Sex Pistols, that's for sure.
Well, you always work with the greatest musician they're in the street. Honestly,
yeah,
in the beginning, huh?
Yeah, it's very fortunate to be able to do that, be able to say that all our lives we've been, just regular guys in high school. You start a band, and you hope someday to work with all these famous names that you grew up with. You read records and Rolling Stone records, and this guy and that guy, and you go, "Wow, wouldn't that be cool to work with those guys?" And then you do. Yeah, that's the reward, to play the music for the people, and if you're lucky, you get some money to do that. You can pay the rent and eat food sometimes, but the music comes first. And it's great gratitude to have worked with Eddie Kramer, people like that. Eddie has produced every famous band on the earth. He's got like 4 pages of, Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, Beatles, right down the list.
Wow.
Name it. He's worked with them.
Oh my!
And he did our second album, Disturbing the Peace, when Steve Vai was in the band. He has some very amazing stories about, designing a recording studio for Jimi Hendrix. So how cool to have somebody like that work for you that has that background.
Yeah, big leagues, huh?
Yeah. So he knows what's going on.
Oh my God! And well, let me tell you that now that the trademark dispute, remember, is now resolved in favor of you and Jimmy.
Yes.
There's only one Alcatrazz.
Always was.
Yes. How important was this to secure the band's future?
Well, very important. I mean, we started the band, myself, Jimmy, and Graham, and then we recently got a new record deal and started recording again. But then Graham wasn't happy and walked away. But what he walked away from was the group Alcatrazz. He just can't go out and make a second Alcatrazz, a second Beatles, a second Rolling Stones. If you leave the band, you leave the band. Make your own band. So that's what happened.
Exactly.
And there were some people in his camp that wanted to fight that and spent a lot of money needlessly for both sides to do that. It didn't have to be like that, but we won because that's the truth. And the truth is on our side of what happened and what's going down over the years and who did what when, who gets credit for this, who gets credit for that. Some of that stuff gets blown out of proportion, And
exactly.
And you hear all these things, you read things, and you go, "That didn't happen." It didn't happen like that at all. So you have to go through the myths,
Mm.
And I just wrote a book about being in the music business and explaining some of those things of, people say Clive Burr from Iron Maiden was in Alcatrazz. No, he only auditioned for us for one day, and we decided he wasn't the guy, and we kept looking. But you read online on the web, you say, "Oh, he was in Alcatrazz. He was in Alcatrazz." And I see that. It's like makes me crazy. I said, "No, he wasn't. Good or bad, but he wasn't." Just want to, be truthful is what went down. We auditioned a lot of drummers at one point. Ainsley Dunbar, monster drummer. My friend John Hine from the group Detective, another great band, Detective. And a lot of people don't know that, but we did. So just to say that, we started the band together, the three of us, and that's why there's a Graham Bonnet band and then there's Alcatrazz. So it's not Graham Bonnet, it's Alcatrazz or anything like that. Whatever. So it's been settled. We had to go to court, and we had to go to court around the world, not just in North America. Japan's different, England's different, France is different, Italy's different, Denmark's different, Sweden's got different laws.
Different.
What they want to call a trademark. So that's lawyers in every country to do that. Big mess. It didn't have to happen, but the other side provoked that. Why? I just thought it was not good.
That's a lot of money.
It's over. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, congratulations.
The truth prevails.
The truth prevailed, yes. How would you describe the chemistry of the current lineup? Giles, Joe, Jimmy, and Mark.
We all get along really good. And that's the important part, and you spend a lot of time to get the right guys in the band.
Okay.
Because you become family. You're with each other 23 hours a day. Get to sleep for an hour maybe, but you're together the whole time. You have to get along, and that's why a lot of bands don't get too far. They break up.
Okay.
just because you can play music doesn't mean you can get along or communicate with other people. It's like going to school. You're in a class, and some of the people you like, some you don't like, and kind of stuck with them till you graduate, until something else happens. So it's difficult, very difficult. And people always read, why did my favorite band break up, and who was at fault, and who can I blame for that? Well, I can't blame anybody. It's just people's personalities are different. It's a family, your own cousins and brothers and sisters. Some you like, some you don't like. So right now we have a perfect combination in our band that we're very happy with. Everything gets done quickly. There's not much discussion about something. Someone says, let's do that. It's like, yes, unanimous. Let's do that. Great idea. Let's go. Boom, done. There's no sitting around for 2 days arguing about my mom likes you more than I do.
Hey, Gary, do this re-recording also serve to introduce Giles and Joe to fans of the classic era?
Yeah. They reintroduced people because a lot of people weren't even alive in the 1980s, And I have a grandson who wasn't even alive in the 1980s. So we're bringing this music back from history almost 50 years ago, and it's been great to reintroduce the music to a whole group of people who've never heard it. That's kind of the beauty of everyone sort of complains about having, 8 tracks and cassettes and vinyl and everything, but it's a resurgence every time that happens of new people listening to that music.
Mm-hmm.
With people in their lifetime going back, listening to Frank Sinatra or something like that back in the 1940s, or appreciating bossa nova or jazz or Duke Ellington. When you're young, you don't know all that stuff until you explore that, and it's a great thing when you hear great music and other artists that were famous and that you never even heard of, but they were very famous way before your parents were even born.
Exactly. Now, for example, in my case, when I go like a 2-3 weeks, I was in the grocery store, and I asked the lady who works there, and say, "What's your age?" "I'm from 03. 03? I'm from 3. What I mean?
Three.
I mean, I'm 73. I'm born in 73. What is 3?
Right.
2003.
Yeah.
What is that? 3? And then, no, she's from 4. From 4?
Right.
Another generation, another thing. I still get it. I don't get it.
We were in dinner last night with a friend, and the friend was, a middle-aged friend. She said she was talking to a younger woman at work who had never heard of the Bee Gees. Didn't know who the Bee Gees were.
No way.
I can see not knowing Alcatrazz. That's no big deal. I'm used to that. But the Bee Gees, you never heard of the Bee Gees? Where have you been?
Real.
So that exists, so it's great to be able to contact those people and make contact and say, hey, here's this music. Hopefully you'll like it. And it's very rewarding when they do like it. And that's the thing, is to promote our music and play it for everybody. You make the music ourselves. We love the music we make. And the great joy is to have other people agree with you that it is good. And that's pretty cool. Other people like it. You like it because you made it, and that's nice.
Yes.
You paint your house a certain color, and you hope your neighbors, like it, that you like it, and you hope the neighborhood likes it, and the city likes it, and the country likes it. So it's kind of something like that.
And Gary, did you ever imagine the name Alcatrazz would become such an iconic part of heavy metal?
Not really. I came up with kind of sort of an accident the day that I thought of it, and I hadn't been thinking about it. We were arguing about band names, and I said it'd be cool to have a name that starts with an A, like Alcatrazz. It just came out of my mouth.
It was cool. It was a cool name.
Aerosmith, ABBA, AC/DC, Alcatrazz, and Alcatrazz. There's no band name Alcatrazz. Let's do that. Sounds heavy. The Rock, No Parole, Prior Convictions.
We'll go for the
a lot of things, and we added another Z on it because it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like jazz and pizzazz with the 2 Z's, 2 Z's.
Oh,
And
that's right.
and then also it would distinguish us from the California Parks Department that own Alcatrazz. And if we're selling Alcatrazz T-shirts with one Z, perhaps they would come after us for copyright infringement on the real Alcatraz Island. They sell merchandise.
I got it.
So that protected that. And we were also big Naz fans. Todd Rundgren's band Naz back in the 60s. And that group was Nazz. So we thought that's cool. Jazz, pizzazz, Naz. You know, the guy made a logo for us and I helped him design it and came out pretty cool with the double Z's. You know, made it more symmetrical.
Yeah.
Logos there's an art to making a logo. Some people have terrible logos. They can't read them. It's too busy. You want a logo that that a kid can draw on a notebook in school, like KISS or something. Simple, AC/DC, simple. Do. You don't want some like Quicksilver Messenger Service, about this long, you know. You got the whole alphabet in there. And then what's the name of that band? Quick this or Quick that? I don't remember. I can't remember the name. Quicksilver Messenger Service. Great band, you know, but hard to remember that name, hard to do artwork for it because it's a busy name. So I was looking for the one word name. So many bands have the this and the that, and that's been done a bazillion times. The black, the red, the green, the yellow, whatever they are, the this, the that, the Sex Pistols, the Stones. And it's like, don't want to get stuck in the T section either. You know, New England got stuck in the section between Olivia Newton-John and New Riders of the Purple Sage, and nobody goes to the end section of the record store. So I said it'd be cool to be in the A section. People come in the store and they go right to the A section and look around. A, B, C, D. You know. Then in the end they go for the Frank Zappa at the end, very end maybe, but maybe not. You know, Zephyr groups that start with Z.
Cool. Gary, you're touring Europe with Girlschool and Bangalore Choir in some select dates.
Yes.
November, December. What can fans expect from the set list and show?
Well, the show's going to be, you know, as Joe says, serious damage. You can expect that. We'll be on 11, fired up, ready to go, like we always do. And as far as the songs go, it remains to be seen what works out. You know, with 3 bands, you have to kind of shrink things down a bit more. Maybe have to play one less song or something. So we have to figure that out. And maybe add something else that we haven't played, we want to play the next time out. So you keep it interesting for yourself and interesting for the audience, and keep all the, you know, obviously we're going to play Out on the Sun, we're going to play Hiroshima, that thing.
Oh.
And you have a little bit of room to add other songs. Now we've got, you know, our 7th album coming in. That's 70 songs to pick from that we know how to play, and some are more popular than others, and a lot of bands have that problem that they don't want to play the old songs anymore. They want to be these new guys, and then their fans go, "What are you, crazy? I'm coming here to hear the old songs." You can't do that to me, you know. So there's a line, you know. You have to be very conscious of that with the fans. So you give the people that want to hear it, you know. You can't go see AC/DC here. You're not here Back in Black. I mean,
of course.
you'll be throwing things.
You always say great, but the people want all material.
Right. The Stones got to play Satisfaction, and that's the way it is, you know.
Exactly.
And they've got 100 songs. They got more than 100 songs, you know.
Hey.
They're going to play Satisfaction, Jumpin' Jack Flash, maybe.
Yeah, Flash, for example. Brown Sugar.
Yeah. All that.
And Gary, any plans to come to Canada?
Well, the band played in Montreal this past last summer.
Last summer.
Yeah, it was in both Montreal, just a one show, and then back into Detroit and Chicago. Working on more touring for 2026. Hopefully, we can come do more shows in Canada. Be able to go right across, you know, come to Toronto, Ontario, Ottawa. But I love Montreal. So Montreal's been good to us. Back in the old days, Jim and I had a band before the guys in New England. We were at another band back in 1975. We were playing in Montreal. You know what I'm saying? Someday we're going to play the Forum in Montreal someday, you know. And we did. We played it with Kiss, you know, Maple Leaf Gardens. And so I love Canada. You know, I've yet to ever play on the West Coast in Vancouver, so I hope to be able to do that someday. That's one of my goals, is to get that finished off. Add that to the list. I guess from Calgary.
Calgary, okay.
And that was the middle of the winter time too. We were in Winnipeg. They canceled the show due to snow, and we were with the band Molly Hatchet from Florida, and they're not used to snow. And I said, "How much?" Not from Boston, New York. We have a lot of snow. Canada's got more snow usually. And I said to these guys, I said, "How much snow do the Canadians have to cancel something?" Because they got big snowplows, big snowplows, the real thing. And they canceled the show. So we had a motorhome. We decided we're not playing, so we just got in a motorhome and started drinking and drove this thing through the city streets and kept getting stuck. And 15 guys would jump out on the motorhome and get it going again and jump back in and go through the green light and drink some more. Went to the venue, took photographs, went back to the hotel. It's only 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Now what are we going to do? Now what do we do? We're sitting at the hotel going, well, I guess we'll keep drinking, That's dangerous. That was our gig in Winnipeg, that tour. The guys at Molly Hatchet all sit around drinking all night long, and then go on to Calgary, whatever. It's just
okay.
A big country. There's a lot of ground to cover in North America.
Yes. And Gary, after 4 decades, what keeps you personally motivated to keep recording and touring?
Just the love of playing music. I got hooked when I was about 14 or 15, and just loved playing the guitar. And I switched to the bass, and I loved that even more than the guitar. Threw the guitar away. I want to shake the place. I'm the bass player, I'm like the goalie. All those other guys out, that's nice. I'm the goalie. So just that love of music just drives me to keep going, keep playing. I've been playing ukulele the last few years. I got about half a dozen ukuleles just for fun, and guitar. And it's never gotten old. It's never gotten to a point where I could walk away and not do that. I don't know if it's in my blood or if it's just my crazy brain, but I love music. I love all kinds of music, so many styles, all kinds of things, I respect everybody from Madonna to the Soft Machine to the Sex Pistols, whoever. Anybody goes out there and does that and successfully, got to give them a lot of credit to pull that off. It's not easy to do that. There's a lot of competition, to be heard among the bazillions of bands out there is an extraordinary thing to happen. And it's a great thing to achieve, to be able to be in the top 40 to top 10. There's only 10 bands in the top 10, not thousands. So it's a special place. You got to give people credit, whether maybe you don't like Neil Young, you don't like this guy, that guy, but, number one songs or whatever, and popular songs, millions of other people like them. Bruce Springsteen, some people don't like this guy, don't like that guy. So it's a wide variety of sounds, all the realms of music, country music and jazz and rock, heavy rock, metal rock, death metal, white metal, green metal, blue metal.
Green metal. That's cool.
It's silly. It just gets silly, it's music.
Music.
It's music.
Yeah, you born with that in you, and I can add you in my list of real musicians that you admire and follow, because you continue and have all the energy and teams and the motivation, and you're still feeling, and that's great. That's great. Honestly, congratulations.
Yeah. I'm going to be in Christmas time. I'll be 75. So
75, you really?
Yeah, and Jimmy's older than me. So we've been doing this. I've been in band since 1967.
1967.
So I remember when there was the Bee Gees. There was no Bee Gees. There was no Jimi Hendrix. There was no Procol Harum. There was no Moody Blues. There wasn't any. It was all the Ronettes and the Supremes and pop stars, single acts,
The Supremes, yeah, yes.
45s, Bobby Darin and Frankie Avalon, and Bobby, all those guys, Gene Pitney, the Rockville Rocket. He was from my state. He's from Rockville, Connecticut. They call him the Rockville Rocket. Gene Pitney. Only 24 hours from Tulsa. That's a big song. And then bands, the Beatles came along and bands started to happen. And when I started my first band, it was the Beatles and the Yardbirds and the Kinks and the Animals and all that. And then as I was getting out of school, Jimi Hendrix appeared and Sgt. Pepper was written, and
Wow.
a lot of great things happened all at once. So many great bands all sound different. Jethro Tull doesn't sound like Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin doesn't sound like 10 Years After. 10 Years After does not sound like Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin does not sound like Creedence Clearwater Revival. And now the music kind of sounds the same. There's so many bands out there, and they're all different genres. And I'm in a supermarket going, what am I listening to? It's just, it's like, and it's strange, isn't it? It's like the heavy metal bands are still playing bands, still playing music, real instruments, and out there playing live and going for it. And then there's the pop thing that people sit around in their parents' house and put things on. I mean, it's one thing to record and be able to change certain things. And you could clip, different takes of songs together.
Mm-hmm.
Like say, you do the song, in the beginning is great, the ending's not so great. You do it again, and it's the other way around. And you can put those two things together, make one great song. You can cut the tape and splice it. And that's what Mike Stone was so good at with Queen. He did Bohemian Rhapsody and put all those tapes together with magnetic tape and a razor blade and cut it precisely.
I saw that.
Thousands and thousands of hours in inches of tape. And you can move notes around and make things sound better. Everything now is played to a code, a certain track. And it kind of takes the rawness out of it. Sometimes a little mistakes here to make it flavorful. All the old records have mistakes in them, but that's not now. Now it's more technology now. So now, because of technology, AI is coming to it big time. And there's going to be AI bands, and I guess the only thing they can't do is to play live unless they get robot bodies. Somebody will get the robots out of the truck and put the disc in the head and they'll go on stage and play. Put them back in the truck. Yeah, come back in the truck. Doesn't need a hotel. Save money on hotels, One guy drives the truck and one hotel instead of 10 rooms every night.
Well, and finally, Gary, what message would you like to share with your fans and with our Rockum audience listening right now?
I'd like to say that I'm thankful for them to supporting our music, and it's very rewarding I keep saying that word rewarding, but it is for people to like our band, and I hope to play for more people live. They get to see us play live. And for those who can't, I've also just written a book called No Bass, No Party. And it's about being in the music business, and it's a story of my life from when I was in high school in the 60s and meeting people, Jimi Hendrix's band, whatever, when I was a teenager, and going to Woodstock and all that stuff, to making Alcatrazz, to today, talking to you. And it's doing quite well. It's called No Bass, No Party. It's on Books We Love Publishing, which is actually a Canadian company. My publishing company is in Calgary.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Look up my name and Amazon, and you'll see it. It's for sale in all the bookstores. It's on Apple. It's on digital platforms. No Bass, No Party. And I'm getting great reviews on Amazon, so I'm very happy about that. So now I'm an author as well as a bass player. So they asked me if I'd write a story about being in the music business as opposed to writing about parties and getting arrested and all the crazy stuff. The actual thing about contracts and the lawsuit we just talked about, that's in the book too.
Okay.
Of the business of music, because it's like 85% business and 15% music. And a lot of people think I can just be a great musician. I don't need to know about the business part. No. And if you're just a business person, you can't play. So there's an area there that has to come together. And if you sign contracts when you're young and just getting going, you'll regret someday that you did that, because other people own the rights to your music, and it'd be legal. You signed it. It's your name. You did it. They didn't, unless they got a gun to your head and say, "Hey, sign the contract." That's happened before too.
Happened. Yeah.
But you need to, anybody that picks up an instrument, wants to get in the music business, they should also read about publishing, the royalties, and all the things that are important in your lifetime as a musician. You could have a song that you wrote 20 years ago, and now it's a big hit again. But you may have signed the rights away to that, and today you're getting the money. And you thought back then, nothing's going to happen, Or say you sold it back then for $100, and today they were $10,000 if you didn't sell it. So that's the business of the music. So that's what I tried to write about. Hopefully, it's interesting to people like what I wrote.
Wow.
Hopefully, everybody goes out and buy my book, and if you do, write me a good review.
Okay, we'll do it.
It really helps. It really helps. The book world have great reviews on Amazon. So I look forward to maybe make another book. Next book, I'll write about the crazy stuff. I'll write about the stories. The guys definitely have some great ones. I have New England versus the Arkansas State Patrol. I got Alcatrazz versus the Secret Service. The woman, all those times. But in this book, I didn't talk about that. Just the business and my story.
Okay.
Going to California, going to England, back and forth, hooking up with guys, and my roommate wants me to be in his band. I say, maybe, maybe not. He starts the babies. The babies. They're on TV.
And
in the park going.
Gary, one last question. Okay, please. If you could describe Alcatrazz in one word, what would it be?
One word. Hopefully artistic. That our songs, the lyrics are not the average lyrics. We don't sing about some of the themes that a lot of other bands sing about. Some of the music is complicated. It's a combination of very musical in some spots and very, very cool lyrics, and we're really proud of that. So I think I had pick one word. I say artistic. Heavy wouldn't describe it, because a lot of heavy bands out there. What does heavy mean? But I think artistic could be interesting. It's not the average sound. It's not the average band, and that's why it's lasted all these years. We're not an average band, and we've worked really hard to make it like that, to be able to up the game. Become that great team.
Artistic, I love it.
You got to win the Stanley Cup sometime in your life. You can't be average and win the Stanley Cup. You got to go.
You gotta go. It's true.
You got to practice. You got to slam stuff. You got to hurt people.
Hi, Gary. It was an honor to talk to you, and thank you so much for these minutes.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thanks, Gina.
I hope to see you here in Canada.
I hope so too.
If you go to Montreal, I will go to look for you to Montreal.
Okay.
Even to Toronto, I had the new Alcatrazz with Gary there.
Old guys playing youthful music.
Yes.
I mean, all the guys in Aerosmith and Cheap Trick and Kiss, they're all my age. We're all the same age. Everybody's in their early 70s, all those bands. And we were all at one point all in our 20s, and getting our first record deals back in the 1970s. And now we're all that age. I mean, we've done the list of guys in Judas Priest, guys in the Scorpions, Michael Schenker, all the same age. We're well over 60 years old.
Yes.
Some 70, And the Stones, of course, in their 80s. I don't know if I'll go that far.
But honestly, 100% honest, you don't look old.
No, thank you.
You look 10 years less than you make.
Right.
And you see, you have a mirror. See you in the mirror, and I'm lying you.
Oh, right, you know,
That's a rock and roll.
right. Exercise, you know, we all exercise and eat right and all that, you know. But we still have a good time though.
Well, Gary, thank you so much for the time. And like I said, I hope to see you soon here in Canada.
Right.
And be hot to you.
Great. Thanks, Gino. All the best to you.
Bye.
Take care.